Welcome back to the Breakroom. As we kind of come to the nadir of 2025 and head into an exciting 2026, it's time to evaluate the state of our franchises, okay? We're doing a little tier ranking today on the Breakroom, and I'm very excited to do that. We'll explain more of the rules here in a moment. Joining me in the Breakroom, he's soft rebooting. It's Alex Berg.
You'll never meet a softer reboot than this guy right here.
Yeah, and wait, what's that? This post-credit scene is connecting a totally different franchise. Who's that? Who's joining us?
What?
Whoa! It's Brandon Barrick.
Sorry, I've been in the bathroom for quite some time.
For several weeks.
Several weeks in the bathroom. Stay away from the taquitos, folks.
We should have checked on you sooner.
Yeah, you should have. I got locked in there.
Oh no! I've also been needing to use that bathroom for quite a while.
I'm surprised no one tried to get in. Frankly, I'm impressed.
I tried and I gave up.
Yeah.
After a couple, leave me alone. So I just decided to go elsewhere.
We've got a couple of Dasani bottles in the office you should not go near. Okay. Enough potty talk.
Yes.
Let's get into some franchise ranking. Okay, so what we did, we've been talking about. I'm excited about Predator Badlands. I got to see it last night. Star Wars represented. There's a lot of different. We're heading into a year with a Spider-Man movie and a Star Wars movie and an Avengers movie and all kinds of other things. So we wanted to just kind of check in, evaluate the state of some franchises. We're gonna put them into a tier list. Couple important caveats here. We're just talking film. Okay. So we won't be. Stranger Things will not be discussed. Game of Thrones House of the Dragon will not be discussed. We're focusing mostly on film, and we're probably going to lean extremely heavily towards theatrically released film. Maybe something released on a streaming platform might come up, but we're eyeing things that will be released in theaters. And we are not strictly going to rank them on like box office performance, what's going to make the most money. We're going to take that into account. Financially successful, sure, but also like cultural impact.
Yes. I think that's got to be key. And that can't just go on the dollar.
Yes, and that's everything from like, are people talking about it? Are kids wearing it as a Halloween costume? Are you seeing merch? Like, is it getting memed? All of that. And then third, just like, is its core fan base really happy with it? Okay.
The answer is no.
Well, that's always the answer.
Yeah,
but
is its loudest fan base happy with it?
Though there might be some exceptions to that as we talk about it.
Sure.
Okay, and we are, producer Brian has put together a real snazzy setup here to do our tier list. And rather than use the classic like S tier, A, B, C, D, we've kind of designated them a little differently for our understanding here. Rather than an S tier, we're going to say guaranteed billion.
Guaranteed billion.
And that's not only like, again, financially successful, but just like huge culturally important movies. The people will love it, being our next tier down.
Okay.
The people will like it. Okay, I think maybe the language. The will people like it. That's a little bit more questioning. People will like it. So, we're using Cold Stone rules here. You go from love it to like it.
Gotcha.
And then, take it or leave it. And I think I'm going to use this designation as like a franchise that is like flat.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
It's neither going up nor down. Okay, it's
spinning its wheels.
Yes, maybe even like a minor decline. But
it's like a Fast 7 level franchise.
Okay, well, that's a good. I
don't want to get ahead of us.
I might even argue that particular franchise should go in the final category, dead or dying.
Yes.
And now, dead, obviously a dead franchise, like we're not going to see it again, or dying, just like it is in rapid decline.
Yeah.
We have no faith in it. Nobody likes it anymore, or something like that. And we are specifically going to focus on the next 5 years. Okay. So we're thinking like from now till 2030, roughly, or through the end of 2030. So even if you think like something over the next 30 years might still be huge, right? We're trying to keep our window relatively narrow. And there are a couple franchises we're going to mention that like haven't even launched yet or have like kind of reboots that we're going to see soon. We'll have to be a little bit more speculative there. But real quick before we get into it, what are the vibes? What are in general across franchises? How are you feeling about the state of franchise entertainment?
I think franchises that have been around for a while, they got it tough. Even Marvel, right? The greatest franchise of the last 20 years, right? It's even with what we consider very good movies like Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, it hasn't been getting the huge box offices like it has before. And theaters have found it difficult. It seems like newer entries have done better. Minecraft, for example, making $1 billion is like a big deal when everyone was kind of like, oh, a Minecraft movie, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then something, out of nowhere, like something like Barbie, right, comes in and does very well. But then the kind of tried and true movies that we're used to seeing doing well, not performing, it's tough. So I think a newer franchise maybe has the advantage here.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I would agree with Brandon. I think that Marvel at some point, and I don't know when, and I'm not interested in nailing it down, but at some point Marvel felt like it crossed from, hey, all of these movies being interconnected makes the other movies stronger, to it's starting to weigh them down a little bit. And I think Kevin Feige's spoken to that, the homework era, where they're trying to get past it. But I think to Brandon's point, that is becoming a little bit of a barrier for entry. And so you're seeing like box office, not be as high because people are like, oh, how many shows do I have to watch to go see Thunderbolts?
Yes. And I should mention one other caveat here. We are not going to treat Marvel or DC as a franchise. We are going to break that up just a little bit. We're going to treat Spider-Man as its own franchise. We're going to treat the Avengers as its own franchise. Then I'm going to put all other Marvel in a bucket. And on the DC side of things, we're going to have Batman as its own franchise. The Superman saga that we can throw Supergirl in there.
Superman family.
Yeah.
Superman family. The Super family. That is a franchise. And then etc. DC is another franchise. Okay. So I know that is a little nitpicky, but they do feel like, it does feel like there are Spider-Man fans and there are Marvel fans, and those sometimes are not the same people.
In terms of sheer numbers, and like this is something we've done over the years when we're like looking into like, what are we going to cover besides Marvel this year? Yeah. What franchises have like similar numbers of entries and stuff? The only things that even come close to the amount of movies that are considered like the MCU are James Bond, which spans like 50, 60 years at this point, and Star Trek, which is on the same timetable. Like Marvel is a like 30 film franchise that is really like 8 or 9 smaller franchises within that.
Yes, which is different than the other two things you mentioned.
Yes.
Though also and we're going to talk about both Bond and Star Trek if we have enough time. Like Bond also has the advantage of like every 10 years or so, they reboot.
They just reset it, yeah.
And there's no shared timeline between the Bonds, and they have a new actor. And even between Roger Moore movies, they're not connected and they don't reference each other.
Yeah, no, they're just like their own thing.
You could watch Octopussy, demonetized, and not need to know anything about Moonraker.
Yeah.
Okay. We probably did just get demonetized.
So many Lazenby heads are just turning the channel off.
Whatever we do, we cannot mention the actor that was in Mary Poppins. Okay. Okay, let's jump into it without further ado.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to start with the big dogs. All right. Why don't we, in fact, this is a big dog that is going to be the next major super duper tentpole that we're going to see because it's got a movie coming out later this year. Let's do Avatar.
You want to start with Avatar?
We know we are getting this year's Avatar and 2 more, I believe.
The original promise is like 5.
It was 5.
5 total,
yeah.
Yes.
And we know that they're going to keep going. I think he's filmed a lot. I believe James Cameron has filmed a lot for the next few movies.
Yes.
Well,
trying to shorten the window in between when they come out.
Because the initial delay was doing the mocap underwater, right? Like that was like a technical hurdle.
He's always inventing new technology.
They had to give Kate Winslet years to get her holding breath skills up.
She also had to learn the accent. It took a little bit of time. But we know that they're going to keep pushing these. The Disneyland park is adding an Avatar world to its area, Pandora.
This is an interesting franchise. So other than a Disneyland park, there is almost no franchise. There is literally no franchise that has been as financially successful.
Right.
The 2 movies that have been released have been 2 of the 5 biggest movies of all time.
Right.
Though you could argue, and it's been the big, conversation around Avatar, very low cultural impact.
Yeah.
Well, so so like, looking at the probably guaranteed $1 billion, but also like feels like a little bit of a shrug every time an Avatar movie comes out.
Avatar Fire and Ash will come out in December. By March, will people be talking about Avatar Fire and Ash?
Depends on if they go full Ash or not. I don't know. But
how much ash do they show?
Yeah, it is what I was, and it I like the two movies, but I say that as someone who's only ever watched them in theaters. Like I don't enjoy watching them at home. Maybe Hector does because he has a 3D television, and if you do have one of those, it's a good experience. But like, I'll admit, like the story itself is not as like groundbreaking enough, and I think the visual fun of the movie is how good it looks in 3D.
That's always been part of the selling point,
yeah,
right? Like, it's a spectacle. It's a big screen spectacle. So yeah, to Zach's point, like, once it's out of theaters, I don't think there's a lot of people like, oh, I watched Avatar on the plane.
Like, I can tell you this: I've handed out a lot of candy on Halloween's. I've never once seen an Avatar-inspired Halloween costume.
It's usually only the year like the movie is out,
and even then,
those movies come out in December, and by the time October rolls around, it's gone.
Yeah.
I played some of the video game too, Frontiers of Pandora, which is a beautiful game. If you can get it on sale, it looks great. Gets a little repetitive as you get going, but there's a ton of lore in that game too. Like you meet Jake Sully in the game,
and I would argue the worst part of the franchise is the lore.
Yeah, it's a little dense.
Okay, so what are we thinking? Again, bringing up our categories.
I think it'll make $1 billion.
It is a guaranteed $1 billion franchise, though. How much of a demerit are we going to give for all the other categories? Right? Are there Avatar heads out there that are blowing up subreddits that are making fan films? No is the answer there. So does that drop it down?
If we have any Avatar freaks in the chat, now is your chance to stump for this film.
I would put it in the second tier. People will love it.
I think you do have to knock it down because the movie will make $1 billion.
It's a guaranteed $1 billion movie, but I don't think it's
in between releases. Nobody talks about it. Nobody is demanding spin-offs. There, it does not have an important place in the culture.
The biggest fans of the franchise would love to see more from it, but it is such a difficult thing. I don't think you can't make the Avatar show to fill in the in-betweens between the movies coming out. And maybe you don't want that. I don't know. Do you want Avatar Earth? Do you want to see what's going on Earth during like the Avatar times?
No, I don't want to see Avatar. So that's my answer.
We've got a couple people in the chat stumping for Avatar. We've also got Sarah Hatchadorian saying James Cameron is just a real life villain. I think that's got to be.
He's a hero.
If you're a deep sea nerd, you got to respect James Cameron.
And like he's given a lot of people great opportunities.
He found the Titanic.
Yeah, I think. Big Jim is a famous hard ass, but like also like great stories of his kindness and largesse, whatever. Okay, but maybe he is a villain. Okay, let's go to the next one. And I think again, one that's on the top of the tongue.
You want to jump around?
Well, let's do a couple of the big ones, and then I want to mix in a couple of the lesser ones. Let's jump straight to Avengers. Okay, we know the next 2 years we are getting Avengers movies. Will we get another Avenger movie after Secret Wars before 2030? Probably not.
I think it's possible they split Secret Wars into two. Could that happen?
Yeah.
There's been that rumor. I don't know. That'd be wild.
I think it depends on how successful Doomsday is, right? Like, if Doomsday blows up and is like, 1.5 billion worldwide or something, then they'll split it. If Doomsday doesn't do more than $1 billion, like within 30 seconds of release, then they're going to get gun shy.
Well, and like, let's talk, because like you could argue there has been no, other than like the original Star Wars trilogy, there has been no more impactful and successful franchise than the Avengers franchise, right? Particularly the first one and Infinity War Endgame. You're gonna, whatever.
You could make the argument for Harry Potter, which did 8 movies total.
That's right.
Within a 15-year period.
And Lord of the Rings has an argument and whatever. They're all in contention. But I would still put Avengers ahead of all of them.
I think Endgame, I really think that we're kind of numb to shared cinematic universes right now. We forget how well Endgame stuck a landing that should have been impossible to stick.
And still, all of those characters, how still important they are in culture.
Yep.
I mean, you can't see 10 memes without seeing something from the Avengers, right? Or one of those characters.
For every Jake Sully you did not see at Halloween, you saw 20 Iron Man.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think, like, for all, and we'll get to the rest of Marvel and like, superhero fatigue and like Marvel's lost the sauce or whatever. All the people saying that still look back at Endgame and the Infinity Saga with nothing but admiration.
Yeah, that's the sauce.
Deadpool and Wolverine made $1 billion. So there's no reality that we live in currently that doesn't have Doomsday coming in at $1 billion.
I'll also say this, like the fatigue questions come at me when people start showing CSI fatigue or medical drama fatigue. This genre fatigue thing is completely made up.
It's bullshit.
And
Yeah.
it all is part of like movie theaters in general, right? Box office is not doing well in general.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
The fatigue exists everywhere. We're all tired of paying $25 for a terrible experience with some kids yelling "Chicken Jackie."
But no, that's a feature, not a bug. But like to Brandon's point, I think he's right. There's no world this isn't incredibly successful, incredibly important to culture. I think they are going to, Avengers in particular, Avengers more so than Marvel, is going to own 18 months of culture. Right? From about next October, as we build up into the hype cycle of Doomsday, through all of 2027, as we are in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, and then into kind of the run of Secret Wars, this will be like monoculture.
Yeah.
I'm going to do just a quick bit of very, very crude research to see if I can find the 3-hour casting at 5.5 hour casting announcement.
Avengers, as we say.
5.5 million views on the
on nothing happening.
On nothing. Yes. So like let us use that as a barometer of
and to
of
the
excitement.
point of like if superhero fatigue is real and certainly like declining box office is real, like all those people are waiting for an excuse to come back. Yeah. And there's 2 excuses in 2026. We're talking about one of them. I think this still has to be top tier.
I think so too.
I think so.
Despite the last 4 years of Marvel.
Yeah, whether or not you enjoyed Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four, like this is Marvel's break glass in case of emergency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially bringing back Robert Downey Jr., especially bringing back the Russos.
Yes.
You know, they're going to throw a bunch of X-Men in there. What they kind of started doing with Deadpool and Wolverine with the old cameos, that was very successful. They're going all out on this one. And we know they're going to set up mutants somehow. Maybe not in this movie as much, but by the time we get to Secret Wars, because we know that movie's coming down the pipe.
Like, I rewatched Endgame over the weekend for no other reason, but I hadn't seen it in a couple years. Man, it holds up.
It's so good,
slaps.
dude.
And you know what? Never discount the value of a bunch of actors you enjoy fucking showing up together in combinations you haven't seen before is pleasing. And this is going to be that in ways that we haven't even seen before. Ian McKellen sharing the screen with freaking Shuri or whatever, whoever is there. I don't
Dogs
know.
and cats.
Dogs and cats,
together.
yes.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's episode of The Breakroom. As we head into the end of the year, the days are getting shorter, and that can have a real impact on people's mental health. If you've been on the fence about reaching out to an old friend to get coffee, now's the perfect time to do it. It can take a little mental energy, but afterwards you'll wind up feeling like, why didn't I do this sooner? Well, starting therapy can also feel difficult, but BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. BetterHelp does the matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences. BetterHelp's more than 12 years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means they'll typically match you with a therapist that's right for you the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, you can switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recs. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/breakroom. That's better, HELP.com/breakroom.
Let's go ahead and move then. Another big dog that's coming out next year. Let's do the Spider-Man.
Let me give a couple.
First tier, Brian. Don't tease.
Let me do a couple super chats real quick before we move on to the next franchise.
Yes,
so we've got Mostly Superheroes sending in a $10 super chat. Thank you, Mostly Superheroes, saying X-Men 97 hype is real, guys. And the MCU is still the biggest, most successful franchise of all time. From Iron Man to Avengers Infinity War and Endgame is perfect and better than the rest. Thanks.
Perfect
is a high bar to clear.
Wow. All you Ant-Man and the Wasp haters. It's perfect.
Yeah, take that, Thor Dark World.
Yeah.
And then we've got Silhouetted Animator sending in a $5 super chat saying the MCU managing almost 20 years of continuity and storytelling is a very impressive feat.
Pretty good.
And yeah, I think that's part of what we were talking about earlier with the shared cinematic universe used to be scaffolding to play around on and now they're kind of having a harder time doing that.
And
But yes.
just to be clear, we did not just rank the MCU. We just ranked the
Avengers.
Avengers.
Okay.
Avengers.
But you could argue that has an even higher hit rate than the MCU overall, right? If the worst entry is Age of Ultron, there is no Thor: Dark World or Ant-Man and the Wasp or whatever
Good point.
within there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's do, and there's some more comments we'll come back to. Send in your hate too.
Please send your
I
hate.
feed off of it. I need it.
The more personal and cutting, the better.
Yes. Let's talk Spider-Man.
Okay.
And now I'm open to suggestion, but I'm grouping animated and live action together.
Okay.
So we're getting a
And
live
the video game?
Oh, is that a video game?
Honestly,
That's a video
if we're
game,
just
baby.
ranking the video games, that's way up there.
No. We're not video games, but whatever.
Well, here's my problem with the second Spider-Man video
No,
game.
shut up.
It's a little overstuffed.
So-
You should have had Gwen Stacy show up.
We're getting, in a little over 8 months, we are getting a live action Spider-Man
Yeah.
movie for the first time since No Way Home in 2022. And about 12 months after that, we are getting Beyond the Spider-Verse,
Right.
the finale of that.
We hope.
We hope. Fingers
We
crossed.
hope it stays.
So the next 2 years are going to have big theatrical Spider-Man movies. I'm not including Spumsy in this. No Venom, no Morbius, no that
That's
bullshit.
dead.
Maybe.
Yeah, never say
Dead to
never.
me.
Now, yeah, Spider-Man, inarguably the number one superhero.
Yeah, well, I think the big three, right, were always like Superman, Batman, and
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I
in
would
terms
say
of like
he's-
worldwide.
But I'm saying
No.
2025 and beyond.
Yes, I think not like
Yeah,
current. I think you could put Spider-Man at the top. Maybe Batman.
but
Like people love Batman.
Batman is a real close second.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I think Spider-Man is definitely in the top.
The kids love Spider-Man.
Yes, they do.
And Spidey and Friends has indoctrinated
Yes.
Gen Beta and Gen Alpha
Yeah,
in a
know.
way that we've
if
never
you're
seen.
under 8, the Spider-Man
Yeah.
you know and love is not Tom Holland.
Yes.
It is a little animated guy
Yeah.
named Peter
Or
Parker.
Ghost
Yes.
Spider.
Yes,
Yeah.
or Spin, which is what they call Miles Morales. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say this is just a lock in the top tier.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the next, Tom Holland Spider-Man entry will do very well. I think the kind of finale of the Spider-Verse movie trilogy will also do very well, considering a lot of people went to the second one not knowing that it was a to be continued and were showcased at the end.
Yeah,
but
being
those movies
unaware.
are so
And
good.
they've let the third one cook long enough.
Yeah.
They've got no excuse. It was not rushed.
I
That's
hope
for
it's
sure.
good.
Yeah, boiled all the fat right off the bone.
I think you can bet on Spider-Man pretty well.
And I think even if superhero fatigue is real, Marvel continues to decline, the Spider-Man franchise is safe.
Would you put it above Avengers?
I think I would. Because the
Really?
Spider-Man franchise
I kind of
needs
agree.
nothing else to be successful.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
even this Avengers movie is really like, well, every character ever. Not just
If-
like Avengers.
you know, I know this is not true because there'll be Thor and Hulk and all this kind of shit, but like you can't build, right now, if they tried to build an Avengers movie around Miss Marvel and Shang-Chi and, that and Kate Bishop, people will be like, who?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Right,
unfortunately, that's just the reality of it. Whereas like Spider-Man, you just need that fucking web.
this.
and
Spider-Man's
You know this.
here's how you know how big Spider-Man is. He's in that league of superheroes where we've seen the origin story so many times. It's a meme. Like the Spider-Verse movies are like, you don't need to hear this again. It's a joke to even pretend that you need to see this again.
Yeah.
That's rare.
And I think like the talent involved in the next two movies, be it directors, actors, studios, whatever, right? Like is great. I have no doubt. Even if Brand New Day is 70% as popular, as creative, as beloved as No Way Home, it will still be the biggest
a
movie
huge
of
hit.
next year,
It'll be-
right?
I think you can bet on Spider-Man.
Okay.
And Tom Holland's a great Spider-Man.
Yeah,
like
he's
everything
great.
else aside from like, like the amount of like legwork that making an Avengers movie requires and all that, like Tom Holland is great in the role.
Yes.
We're not worried that this on-set concussion has ruined his ability.
Oh, I'm worried about it, but I think they got all the good scenes
When,
before.
when the left side of his mouth droops for all of the movie, we'll know.
Yes. Spider-Man's
could
new-
have changed him.
Yeah.
Could be different now.
Spider-Man's new power is he can't do quips.
Yeah. Spider-Man's new powers, he has to sit down a lot.
Gets
Okay,
disease.
now that we've gotten three big boys out of the way, let's jump around a little bit.
Yeah, give me some window.
Let's mix it up and go like family friendly. The biggest movie of 2 years ago was Mario. You're getting another Mario movie next year, Mario Galaxy. Okay, there's only been technically one entry in this franchise, you know, not including John Leguizamo. But like, we know they're not only coming out with this sequel, but there's definitely all kinds of spin-offs planned.
Yes.
we will
a massive untapped.
we will see a Donkey Kong movie in our lifetime.
Yes.
We will see all kinds of stuff. But I'm
Do you
limiting
consider
it.
like is Zelda part of this?
Well, that's both live action and no,
Right.
I'm not
Yeah,
considering
okay.
that. This is not
I would
Nintendo. This is
consider
just
Mario World.
But Mario does include like any character that shows up in
Yoshi
Mario
includes-
Kart or a
yeah.
Mario
Yes.
Party game, like
Yes.
not Smash Brothers.
yeah.
no.
I want like a Paul Thomas Anderson Shy Guy movie. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Don't
You
tease
know?
me with a good time.
Yeah.
Now, again, this movie, wildly successful, kind of a 4-quadrant, appeal to your Gen X, your Gen Zs who grew up playing the games, and also kids that
Yeah.
also still play the games, but also love the animation and the songs and all that kind
And
of stuff.
Chris Pratt heads. I mean,
Can
the Pratt heads are out
Can
there.
I give the most damning review of Chris Pratt that I
Please.
heard after the Mario film?
Please.
So I went and saw it with my daughter, who when the first movie came out was maybe 10. I don't remember. I don't pay much attention to her.
You don't know her birthday, do you?
It's in a year.
Okay.
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah. She had one last
Happens
year.
every year.
But she came out of the movie and went, "Are they going to make another one of these?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, definitely." And she just goes, "I hope Chris Pratt dies before that."
Wow. wow. Wow.
Brutal,
The curse.
savage review.
The curse.
Savage review.
He somewhere his ears are bleeding.
Yeah.
Okay, but and again, we don't have to spend too much more time on this, but like, do we feel this is also from the studio Illumination that does the Minions and all that kind of stuff?
Secret Lies of Pets.
Sure.
It's
And
a Riley
like
universe.
they know in Kung Fu Panda. No, Kung Fu Panda's DreamWorks.
Yeah, no,
but
No, it's
Oh,
DreamWorks.
no, yeah,
It's
you're right.
DreamWorks.
but like they are a studio that knows how to turn out crowd pleasing,
Yeah.
like kid friendly animation on a pretty regular cadence. Like, do we feel good again about the next? I bet in the next 5 years we get maybe 2 more entrants into this franchise.
Because the next one's going to be Super Mario Galaxy. I think they're making a huge mistake if they don't do a Fast and Furious Mario Kart world. Like,
Sure.
you know, like
I mean, could you even see just a straight up Princess Peach spinoff?
Ooh, a
Yes,
Peach-
definitely.
standalone Peach
You know?
film.
definitely.
But like, do we feel good? This is a franchise that is not only gonna come out and be successful and beloved, but like it'll maintain the high of the initial.
It seems like they held on long enough. I mean, they did do a Super Mario Brothers movie in the 90s, but like Nintendo then kind of Nintendo is very cautious about what they
Yeah,
do.
they're
a lot
very
of
picky.
times. And I think they've found success here. Again, it's a 4-quadrant movie in that like adults, kids, everyone can go see it. So that makes it a lot easier to make $1 billion,
yes,
right?
for sure.
you have
you're not going for
kids.
like a hard R with like,
Yeah.
you know, Bowser's not decapitating Luigi.
Right.
You know.
So wait, do we put this top tier or second tier down?
I think
I think
this is a franchise on the rise.
I think it's a people will love it for the following reason.
Ooh,
Because I think the people my age who grew up playing Mario and Mario 64 and all that watched it and went like, this isn't the movie I wanted. But I think the kids will go nuts for it.
well, and I think maybe the argument for top tier is again cultural impact,
Huge.
right?
People know Mario.
The costumes, the
Yes.
lunch boxes, the toys, the shirts, it is huge, especially for people under the age of 20, right?
But how much of that is the games and how much of that is the film?
Yeah,
You know,
I
and
think
it doesn't
there's some
matter.
synergy
You
there.
know, it might not
That's a good
matter
point.
at
I'm not
all,
going to
but-
quibble. We can put that in the second tier.
Yeah.
Let's jump to another animated franchise. Do we have a? Oh,
Whoa.
what was that?
I'm not answering that question.
I didn't even get to read. Do we have a Toy Story movie coming out next year?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that is a franchise that's been kind of dormant for a minute.
We thought we were done.
We thought we were
Yes.
done, and they pulled us back in.
And Tom Hanks might be done. Is he coming
No,
back?
no, they got the full
He's back.
cast.
Oh, they got that
They got the
right.
cast.
Yeah, Tim Allen was recently being interviewed, and he kind of spilled the beans on like a lot of the plot of the movie.
Oh, really?
Jesse's in trouble. They're getting the gang back together. I guess they
Right.
got to find Woody. Last we left Woody, he had abandoned.
Yeah.
Bo Peep.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
went to go live his life.
And Toy Story is kind of the signature Pixar franchise.
Sure, yeah.
Probably arguably the biggest animated franchise of all time, if not in total box office, mix of quality, awards recognition, box
Yeah,
office.
because I would say
belovedness.
like
I mean, the
Cars has a big impact.
Yeah,
in a
and
weird way.
the first Toy Story was the first fully CGI animated film, right? Am I wrong on that?
I think that's right. That
Maybe
was the
Final
first-
Fantasy, you know?
Yeah, it was the first,
Yeah.
and it was the first theatrical Pixar release, I
Yes,
believe.
yeah.
And has been an important part, the through line of that entire studio.
And it's great.
And again, the hit rate is anybody like, boy, there was that one Toy Story that sucked? No,
People
they're
are
all
hard
good.
on 4 and 2. I like 4.
2 is incredible.
4 is incredible.
Oh,
okay?
man.
4 is a tour de force.
But yeah, I think I'll go to bat for the first 3 as being like perfect movies.
Yeah.
And 4, I'm like, is only subpar in comparison to like Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
If Toy Story 3 didn't exist, we would have all watched Toy Story 4 and been like, it's okay.
Well, I mean, all that said, where do we think? Do we think this is...
I don't think this franchise has legs.
Next 5 years. Next 5 years.
I'm not a Forky fan. I don't like Forky. I don't need more. A lot of the newer toys that came in, I'm not as excited about.
They're not as developed. They're not as.
And I don't know how long you can keep putting Woody and Buzz. You know what I mean? Like at some point you're gonna have to Muppet them, where it's like different people doing the voices.
Sure.
If Tom Hanks goes, his brother can keep doing the voice.
I would say like there is zero chance this movie doesn't make a ton of money.
Yeah.
But it could be the discourse around it could be like, why'd they do this? This is getting
And
tired.
I feel like you heard that a lot at 4. People were like, why are we doing this? They kind of
still didn't 4 get nominated for best animated
Sure,
feature?
but I think Pixar is guaranteed to get their movie nominated.
Now,
for
speaking of
Best
fatigue, you can make an argument there's some Pixar fatigue. LEO and probably half of their releases lately, people have not been
Inside
loving.
Out 2 made $1 billion.
Sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also
that's right.
like Coco 2, like I'm excited for
It's
that.
coming.
I think those were just individual movies.
And they're doing
That's
Incredibles
always
3.
happened.
Like they'll keep running it back. Okay, so what tier do we feel safe here? The third one down or the second one down?
I think the people will love it. But I do feel like this franchise, I don't know how much more of these
I
they
think
can
it's
do.
take it or leave it. I'm going to be hard on Toy Story.
No, I think it's got to be like it. I think it's got to be like it.
I'm rooting for it to be higher,
Yeah.
but I
also
think
about franchises. I don't know how many more
I
they got.
think they deserve the benefit of the doubt that just when they think a Pixar franchise might be getting a little tired, they find a way to get creative, to deliver on the classic formula. We have to give them the benefit of the doubt above even like a Mario in that, like, we don't know if they're going to pull off a good sequel. They've never done it. I'm not saying it should be in the same tier, but I say it can't go below like it. Okay. Case closed. Let's move back. Let's move back to a franchise that doesn't currently have anything on the upcoming slate, though we know it's not too far off. There's got one in the rear view. Let's talk Jurassic.
Oh,
okay.
This is heartbreaking.
This is for the first Jurassic Park movie was like one of my all-time faves, and I had 2 and 3 on VHS. I had the hologram cover and everything.
And the first Jurassic World movie was great. What a at least cultural impact, success. I thought it was a good way to revitalize, reboot, bring back a franchise.
This is tough because as a huge Jurassic Park fan, the first one, and an enjoyer of the second one, it has been a decline since the top.
And this is how much of a dinosaur nerd I am. I have a goddamn Triceratops tattoo.
On the Triceratops on the triceps, huh?
Yeah, Triceratops.
It's just I think this franchise is tough because the first movie, the thing that was big about it was that it was you go to the theater to see a live action dinosaur, the most realistic looking thing that had been done in cinema up to that point. And we're at this stage now where it's like, we're not impressed by that anymore. Like the things that bring us to the movie theaters, the big spectacle things, almost now is like practical stuff, right? Going to see Nolan crash an airplane into a building, or go to see Tom Cruise jump out of an airplane.
But also that first Star Trek, that first Jurassic Park also had great characters, great actors.
Yes, that was all great too.
Right? It brought everything together. That's why it's one of the best films of all time. And the later iterations of the film, Rebirth boffed the humans as bad as it boffed anything else, right?
I read a review. I can't remember which of the Jurassic World movies it was, but a paleo artist I follow, whose blog I follow, named Mark Whitten, wrote a review of it that was, "Can a dinosaur movie have too many dinosaurs?" And it was just him ripping on how but what the dinosaurs are doing doesn't make sense. Right. They're fleeing a volcano, but they're also biting each other like they're hungry. I think the series, the last one I saw was the one before Rebirth with
Dominion?
the mosquitoes, right? Where they're
they all have mosquitoes. It's the core tenet of the
mosquito thing.
When you go see a movie in 4DX, you're just swatting yourself the whole time.
Dominion has the locusts.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
There's 5 movies in Dominion.
Yes. But it was just it felt like an overstuffed James Bond movie where you're like, the end of the day, I don't really care about like the geopolitics of it. I want to see a car chase, and it felt like that's kind of where the Jurassic World.
Well, and all the problem with the Jurassic movies, especially I was going to say the Rebirth, but that was the most recent. The Jurassic World area. It was like, what we love about these movies is the dinosaurs, yes, but they're not supposed to be the good guys in the movie, right?
Yeah, they're the
and like
villains.
that's the fun thing about the first one is that like they're the monsters, except at the very end, the T-Rex comes in and helps them, and it's like this was sweet. Beautiful. Yeah. But like when you try and make them not when they're saving the dinosaurs, it's like not as fun, right?
Yes.
We want to see the action and the killing. And then Rebirth was like, oh, we're gonna give you dinosaurs again, except no, it's a weird, mutant thing. And it's like, no, I just want the T-Rex is fine.
Yeah. Rebirth is poo-poo. I think you and I, and maybe you and I as well, have shit on Rebirth, or maybe John and I have shit on Rebirth. Multiple hours on the Breakroom.
I haven't seen Rebirth. I will shit on it, but I have not seen it.
Let's go ahead and put it. I think this might be my first dead or dying vote. I'm going to say this is a franchise on the decline.
How did this movie? It didn't do that great.
It did okay.
I think it actually did pretty well.
It's still in the top 10 for 2025.
But can you name a single character that did?
Duncan Kincaid, only because that name is so good. you hate on the script,
I guess,
but the name Duncan Kincaid is so good.
Inarguably, maybe it needs to be take it or leave it. Only because
I think you can say take it or leave it because
it is very financially profitable.
And it's still a big deal when a Jurassic movie comes out, despite like the diminishing returns.
And I'll say this, like the franchise is not for me anymore, but you can't deny that like the Jurassic World ride is one of the biggest rides at Universal, huge line for it.
The Coaster does very well.
If there's a guy in your hometown that has a Jeep that he has done up like the Jurassic Park
Jeep,
an old Explorer. That guy is fucking cool. Okay, I want to speed run. I want to speed run through a couple entries that are kind of new entries that have elements coming out next year. Okay, let's do Zelda. Okay, we already kind of invoked that. There's a live action Zelda coming out next year.
$1 billion.
Whoa, you think that's top tier?
I think this has a lot of worldwide appeal. People
love here. This is a 40-year-old franchise, but it also has a lot of room to fuck it up.
Yeah. Now, I am not a gamer, and like both of you, I have no emotional attachment to the Zelda franchise. I will say, do we have blinders on because of Mario and The Last of Us and some recent good game adaptations?
No.
The history of game adaptations is real spotty.
It is real spotty. And I'll say this, the big question with Zelda is Link gonna talk? If he talks, the movie will tank.
Yeah.
But they can't make a movie without a talking Link. But I will say, like, the story in the two most recent mainline entry games in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is gorgeous. It's not frontline, they're not story-driven games, but the story is really phenomenal and has a great opportunity for a strong actress to center Zelda as like kind of like a major heroine and Link as a sidekick. If they do that,
I'll also just say, like, again, as somebody with no emotional connection to the franchise, fantasy does not have a great track record outside of Lord of the Rings.
That's the hardest thing about this movie is like, is it going to be serious? You know what I mean? Like the games have lightness to them, brevity, but like they're kind of serious. And like Mario works because it's goofy and it's like, oh, what am I doing here? Yeah. This is crazy. But like you can't really do that. Is it going to be a funny Zelda movie?
The Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves was a good movie, but it did not make money, and they're not making any more of those.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, and that's like, that movie was good.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if this movie now, Zelda has maybe a different kind of name recognition, a different kind of cultural power.
The name recognition, I mean, if you look at the mainline Nintendo games, it's like Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda. Like those are on equal footing in terms of the people have grown up with them.
Yes. And if we weren't just talking about film franchises, if we were just talking about general franchises, those are the biggest franchises in the history of the world. Like Pokemon is the number one. Pokemon has made more money than anything else, other than maybe the NFL or whatever.
Or GTA 5.
Yeah. So what do you? I am skeptical, but I will defer to you guys. What tier do you think Zelda goes in?
I think I might be looking at this rose-colored glasses to say guaranteed banger or guaranteed billing, because I think the points you're raising are right about
Dungeons
and Dragons and fantasy.
There's a big risk. It's also I can't remember what studio's doing it, but like we don't know a lot about the talent attached.
Right.
Actors and directors, I don't believe have like been announced. They are actively working on this. Like I would assume no earlier than 2027 are we going to see this film.
I'll tell you, the thing that makes me most excited for the Zelda movie is a piece of photoshopped movie poster that went viral on Twitter a while back of Tom Holland as Link and Emma Watson as Zelda. If they can get that.
Emma Watson, currently retired from acting.
Currently retired.
Yes.
But, if they get like Saoirse Ronan or someone as Zelda, like it is going to be so
What about
cost-effective.
Chris Pratt as Zelda?
Yeah, hell yeah. And Link.
And Link doesn't have a voice, so people like it.
Yeah, honestly, Chris Pratt as voice Link.
Okay, I'll put it there.
You throw in a
I would say I would put it at
Link
the end of this tier.
Yeah.
I would put it.
I don't think.
I'm
the
comfortable
other.
putting it down to people will like it because as bullish as I was when we first brought it up, I think you've raised good points about its viability.
I think it will do well.
Yes,
I think it will, but whether or not the future of the franchise
and don't
Yeah.
I don't
discount
know.
something like it could come out, it could be decent, but the core fan base could not like it for some of these reasons you guys have mentioned.
I'm
right?
a core Mario fan.
Okay, we're gonna put it at the top of like for now, with room to grow.
Yeah,
okay,
okay with that.
One that I'm particularly interested in: Masters of the Universe. Okay, they're making a He-Man movie next year. Alison Brie is playing Evelyn. It's got kind of a fun cast. Homeboy from God, what's the actor playing? Whatever. I refuse to Google it. It's got some interesting talent around it.
They like released a photo of him, right?
Yes, he's like all
buffed
bulked up. It's not Noah Centineo. That's the guy playing Rambo.
It is. Why is there a picture of Jared Leto? No.
No, he's in it. He's playing Skeletor.
Nicholas
Galatzine.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And Leto's playing Skeletor, which maybe is a reason to bump it down 2 ranks.
Although Idris Elba's
franchise
man at arms.
killer,
I mean,
I love
it's
Idris
got
Elba.
to, in like, we're going to talk about, there's 2 other franchises right after this that I want to speed run of like 80s nostalgia. They're following the Mario playbook of, now this is never been as big a franchise as Mario,
No, but
obviously.
this could be a Transformers play where like Transformers was kind of not really that relevant when Transformers came
yes.
out.
Or
this could
even
be
something
that.
like 21 Jump Street
Right.
to its own extent,
Just
where
a
it was
good
like,
comedy.
It's going to be a little silly, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
Kevin Smith's doing it, right? Like he's producing it, he's directing.
Well, yeah, he's been.
he did the
produced
Netflix series, right? Yeah, he might be
Which-
attached to this.
I know that got like a lot of like heat online, but I don't know if it was successful or not. Because that's my one thing. Like this is going off of, He-Man has not had a ton of cultural impact
No,
since the 80s.
Yeah, since I was a child.
And like
yeah.
some people were like excited about the Netflix thing, and then it had a kind of online.
Yeah, there was some backlash, and it just didn't have the cultural impact. Right.
So I don't know how well this thing could do out of the gate.
I mean, is this going to be like a Thundercats where people my age are always stoked for a reboot and then it
love a
never
Thundercats.
hits?
Yeah.
Like
I would love.
I would put this in the take it or leave it. I am.
think that's
I would
correct.
love it if it's good.
it'd be great.
I have a place in my heart for the Dolph Lundgren OG live action.
Yes, yes.
But now, okay, let's compare that to, and apology, there's a Street Fighter movie coming out next year too. Yes.
Yeah, there
now
is.
this has
This
Noah
is a wild
Centineo.
cast.
This has
Like Bad Bunny's in this one, right?
Bad Bunny's in it. The
Orville
country
Peck?
singer Orville
Orville
Peck.
Peck's in
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And it's from the director who did the Eric Andre show.
Yeah.
This movie, I have no idea.
Eric
how to
Andre's
even
also in
gauge what it's gonna
Yeah.
be. The cast is so weird. It's got to be kind of silly, right? Like,
Yeah.
This feels like 2 years ago when we were talking about like, what's this Minecraft movie even going to be?
yeah.
In fact, I think, is Momoa also in this?
He might be.
I think it might be
Oh,
Blanc
let me see.
Blanca.
Oh, yeah. I think he is playing.
I think
Blanca.
he
Yeah,
is.
That's
yeah.
a wild cast.
It's got a
It's a
crazy
wild
cast. Again, it's coming from not only a comedy director, but like a gonzo comedy
Yeah, pretty
director.
abrasive comedy.
Yeah,
director.
weird stuff. Pretty outside the mainstream. And like Eric Andre's in it. I am very optimistic about this. I
Like,
gotta
this could
say,
be-
Roman Reigns is in it and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. I don't, the Mortal Kombat movies take themselves like too seriously. And I'm kind of more excited to see a weird Street Fighter movie where it's like, what could this be in a world where it's like we have these street fights?
If it is like kind of like a throwback to like Bloodsport or like that
Yes.
era of cheesy action movie, then I think it'll be like it's almost like a nostalgia bait for a genre rather than a franchise.
Yes, because
that's
like
what I'm hoping.
to your point, the current iteration of the Mortal Kombat franchise, they're not even at a real fighting tournament. It's
Right.
like it's all about narrative and different stories, and we're going to talk about that. That's the next one I want to talk about. Like I want this to be like we're doing a tournament, the Quick and the Dead, Street Fighter, OG Mortal Kombat, right? Like, we get to see the green guy fight the fat guy. You know,
I
that's
want
what I
the third act of Dodgeball, right?
Yes.
I want all these weird teams. I want
so I'm gonna say
warriors, right?
and I want people dying or something.
Yes.
I guess in Street Fighter you don't really die. That's
no,
more of a Mortal
it's
Kombat
it's
thing.
cartoony, and like so they'll be interested in the tone they strike here. I'm gonna be way too bullish on this.
This is your Zelda.
I might say, well,
No.
I'll only say like it. I'll put it at the bottom of like it.
Yeah.
That's this has
That's bold.
a very high
Put
percentage
this above
chance
Jurassic
it could
Park.
Jurassic Park
completely
has disappointed for some
it could
I get that,
completely
I get
bomb.
that.
It could completely bomb. It could make $41. It could be Karate Kid Legends or whatever, right?
And if you've never seen the 90s Street Fighter movie
Raul Julia.
with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia's final
role,
performance,
right? Yeah.
And he's the best part of the
Dying of
movie.
cancer as he plays M. Bison. I mean, it's hot garbage, but
It's
like
hot garbage.
again, kind of like Mario. There's no way they can't do better.
But if it leans, if it leans into that camp, then I
Yes.
think like it has like a real
Yes.
shot at, you know.
Okay, then let's jump right into.
do
There's a
Mortal
Mortal Kombat movie coming out next year, delayed from this year.
Yes.
Never a good sign. This is the second entry in the kind of the current iteration of the
Newish,
franchise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which that movie was well liked.
that was
I
like
thought this one was
it's like
fun.
a COVID release.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
People liked.
But this one looks funny. Like the first one, I agree, like felt a little bit too like, you know, going a little bit for like the edgelord gamer. And this one feels a little bit more like, no, we're leaning into the silliness. The tournament is front loaded
This
a
is
little bit
Carl
more.
Urban as
it's
Johnny
it's
Cage.
very Johnny Cage forward. All the
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah, you know, so this feels like it might be a little bit more straightforward. Like, hey, this is a movie about Johnny Cage, and you know, like if this movie, there's so many ifs. I
And
think.
again, we're talking next 5 years, not
5
just
years.
this film, but like next 5 years.
It's just tough because I feel like the Mortal Kombat franchise maybe has more weight than Street Fighter, right? Which has not had a theatrical entry in a long time. And people love Mortal Kombat. They still play the game a lot. The games do well.
the seriousness of Mortal Kombat lends itself better to theatrical adaptation.
yeah.
Goofy
in a
stuff
way.
often doesn't adapt.
You know what
as
it
well.
is Mortal Kombat's in a weird zone between like it needs to have like action movie like fights, but also it really needs like splatterhouse gore
Yeah, you
level
have to
effects.
have over the top. But they
And
don't like to kill people in the movies because you
Gotta
want
be PG-13.
Yeah.
You want them to be there.
So-
well, you want them in the next entry,
Yeah.
right?
You know, so it's tough. I don't think this is going to be hugely impactful in the next
No.
5 years.
No,
I'd
I'm-
like it if it was, but I just
I'm
don't see it.
skeptical. The like initial trailers for this entry weren't that great. It got delayed, which isn't a great sign.
I think it's a tough franchise, and I think it works more as like an anthology. Almost,
also-
where it's like just reset every time you do the movie.
To me, I kind of enjoyed the last one when it came out, but it has passed through me, and like I do not think about it very
He's
fast.
digesting
It's
it.
the, it's the
yeah.
psyllium husk of film.
That's right. I would put this on take it or leave it level.
Yeah, I think that's. I hate to say it, but I think that's generous.
Above Master
Ooh, Dead or Dying?
Universe?
I mean, do we
It's
really
not Dead or
think,
Dying because they keep. I don't know.
do we really think that like in the next 5 years we're going to get more than this one Mortal Kombat movie?
No.
And if we do, people are going to be clamoring.
No.
for
Is it? And this is still a Warner Brothers joint, right? They
It
own
is. It
I
is.
know the game.
They
Warner
might-
Brothers Games owns the game.
No, Warner Brothers puts out these movies. They might be. It might be like a co-production with
This
Legendary,
one,
but
we need a new category that's for sale. I
yeah,
can see
yeah.
them selling off this
could go
franchise.
away if Paramount or Netflix buys you. I think let's leave it here. We're not getting through enough. We got a whole bunch of these. We got to
we
do a
got so
speed
many.
run here.
Okay.
Predator. Now, you two haven't seen Predator Badlands. I have, but even just knowing Prey and Killer of Killers, this is a franchise on the rise.
I
in my
agree.
opinion.
I agree. It's come back pretty strong, and it's a shame Prey wasn't in theaters. Did that help it in the long run? Maybe more people saw
Also,
it.
Killer of Killers was great.
Killer of Killers
like we're,
was really-
we're looking at
for an
You know,
animated thing,
both
it
of those
was
did
good.
not go to theaters,
Right.
but
True.
yeah.
But we're looking at two very solid entries in a franchise that
Yeah.
seems like it's really leaning in towards fun, leaning in towards like a good kind of fan service.
Also, they are getting content out. Like, if
They've
you're just
been
picking the next
marketing
5
this
years,
movie. Yeah.
my man Trachtenberg can pump them out. They've had 2 movies in the last 5 years. This will be the third, and then
Technically, Killer of Killers was like a surprise.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know it was happening until like a year
Those
before that
animators
release.
had no idea. They were all just sneezing.
What am I drawing?
Yeah, like all of a sudden they had a movie.
Let me take the blindfold off, Dan.
I would put this now. It's never been like a giant box office franchise, and I don't know that you see a lot of lunch boxes and stuff like that because of like,
I will say
it's more adult skewing.
At
But
Halloween this year, we had a xenomorph and a Yautja come to the front door. So like
nice.
the kids are into it.
represent. Would you put this and love it or like it?
I think.
I don't think it can go first tier, but
No, I think love it.
I think let's put it at the
has-
bottom of
I
Love
think
It.
has Love It potential.
Okay, then let's jump right into kind of its sister franchise, Alien.
Okay.
Um,
Do we have an alien? I don't
wait.
think we have an alien.
Oh, sorry, Brian.
Oh, there's an
We're not-
alien. That's Superman. Superman's an
Hey,
alien.
Yeah, get him out of here.
technically all the characters in Dune are
Well, we
aliens.
can talk about. I mean, I think Alien.
Where would you put it?
as a movie franchise? Romulus kind of like brought it back a little bit. We were
agree.
talking before about like Prometheus and Covenant. While great movies, kind of soured people on the franchise a little bit. Alien Earth was a ton of fun.
But
we're not talking
here's my
TV.
argument, though. Like, is it now a TV franchise?
Yeah, the tough thing about Alien again is like the alien needs to be the bad guy, and it's like, does the human win? We were talking about Predator, right? It's like most Predator movies show the worst predators because they die. They
Right,
get killed by
yeah.
some dumb human.
But it's a good formula.
Right.
Formula.
It's great. Yeah.
I think Romulus was great, and
I
it
like Romulus
jazzes
a
me
lot.
up for like, let's get this back.
There was more I liked about, again, TV, but there was more I liked about Alien Earth than I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And fundamentally, again, something I really like about Alien as a franchise is like, at its best, you're trapped in a tiny space
Right.
with a vicious monster.
Outer
That
Space
formula
Haunted House
works.
is a
Yeah.
fun concept.
Yep.
It just keeps working.
But I would put it below Predator because I feel like Predator has more room to grow.
Agreed. And again, I just question the theatrical future of this movie.
Yes.
There's no Alien movies as of right now announced.
Well, they're making
come
a sequel to like Romulus, but different director.
Yes. Yeah. Fede Alvarez has handed that off to
Yes.
somebody else. We don't know timetable, or maybe that's a 27, 28 release, something like that. Yeah, I would put this in the like it.
Yeah.
And like, again, Romulus was a good direction, but like, it feels like
It
this.
doesn't feel like it has the same theatrical
No.
juice behind
Yes.
it.
No,
Yeah,
Yes.
I
agree.
enjoyed what the TV show showed.
We need to take off our Marvel shill hats and talk about the big DC franchises real quick. Let's talk. Let's talk Batman. This is the Batman, which we're getting in 2027, but also like, I don't know if James Gunn can squeeze out a Batman movie too. I would say any Batman movie falls into this
So
category.
you're including Brave and the Bold and
Yes.
like
Yeah.
the Batman.
like
I
the
mean,
animated-
again, Batman is such a hot. Come on.
Even
People
the
love
bad Batman movies do well.
Yes.
The Batman did pretty well in theaters.
Yeah.
At a time when it was like people were kind of getting back into movies.
And it's a good movie.
It's a
It
great
holds up.
movie.
It's great. I
vibes.
am so excited to see more Matt Reeves shit. Unfortunately, the man takes a long time to make
slow.
Penguin was such a great
Penguin
show.
was great.
Penguin stood a lot. Penguin was to the DC universe what Andor was to the Star Wars
Yes.
universe. You know what I mean? Like it's
And again, we were talking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Batman's right up there. It's
The
1A,
Batman
1B.
I agree.
movie,
I agree.
Even the worst that Batfleck did to the character, like it didn't harm the brand. You know what I mean? Like Batman will always do
I
well.
think that's the thing is Batman is one of those characters where if there's a bad movie, everyone still want to go like, no, I like Batman.
Yeah,
There
I
are
like
3 commenters in the live chat that have already been blocked that are furiously typing out Snyder apologism. I might put this in top tier.
I think Batman's top tier. I don't know if the next Batman movie will make $1 billion,
Right.
but I think Batman as a franchise is not going anywhere. And I
Nah.
think if you include the Gunniverse parts,
and
of
we
it,
have a very, there's been periods when like Nolan and Lego Batman were kind of going at the same time, or maybe it was the Snyder Batman and Lego. But like, there's a very real possibility we have 2 concurrent Batman franchises going at the same time.
Absolutely.
And they both might be really good.
Yeah.
We will never go the length of time we've gone since the Batman. We will never go that long again without a Batman movie being in theaters, I think.
We are closer to when they landed on the moon than to the next Batman.
No. Okay, then let's jump right to just the Superman saga. And this includes Supergirl, Man of Tomorrow.
Super family.
It's Super Family.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty culturally dominant for the next
It's on
5
the
years.
rise.
Though I think like the fact that this new one came out and like, again, it performed commensurately or a little bit better than Fantastic Four and much better than Thunderbolts, but like not a runaway.
No.
It's not a runaway success, but Superman is again one of those characters that's just like when you think of superhero, you think of a guy standing like this with a cape.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think
he's the index case.
And I think like a couple, by the time Man of Tomorrow comes out, there might be a lot more juice going
Could
for
be
like the DC and Super in general.
Or Supergirl's not good, and people were like, "Why don't you just call this Superman 2 when Man of Tomorrow comes out?"
And I'll also say this in terms of like cultural relevance has been like one of the criteria. Like James Gunn drives more conversation about his movies than any other director working.
Love him or hate him. That's right. Should we
he's
put
on
this?
every podcast,
I guess the question:
you know?
Do we put this? I think I would put it in Love It. And
I think it's.
I don't know
it's
if it's
second
$1 billion
from the top
yet,
because I
but-
think Superman's also super. Everybody knows, but nobody is super passionate.
I think you
about.
could put it in front
top.
of
I'd put it in front of Avatar again. Cultural impact bigger than Avatar,
Yeah,
if not
I'd agree with
financial
that.
success.
I'd agree with that.
Okay, let's do real quick all other Marvel. So this would be future Fantastic Four movies. Doctor Strange 3, Black Panther 3, Shang-Chi 2 if we ever get it, Blade if we ever get it.
Movie that's
No, so
coming?
this does not include Spider-Man, does not include Avengers, and does not include X-Men.
Okay.
Actually, let's do X-Men. Sorry, let's do X-Men first. Sorry, Brian. What do we think now? We don't know when we're getting an X-Men movie, but we know we are getting an X-Men movie. I know this graphic is cartoon, but we're not talking X-Men 97. Theatrical release X-Men movies.
I think
Here's my. I have a lot of reason to be optimistic. Kevin Feige, getting his hands on X-Men. How will the MCU do it? The last 3 entries, if you don't include Deadpool, and Deadpool and Wolverine movies, the last 3 entries in the X-Men franchise: New Mutants, Dark Phoenix, Age of Apocalypse.
It's been tough.
They had bad people at the helm for those movies. It was in a dark person involved. It's like a dark space for those movies. First Class was, I think, people really liked it.
Great.
Yeah.
They got into Days of Future Past.
was
It was a lot
really
of fun.
fun. Yeah.
And then they just didn't really know where to go.
And there was a little bit of like, that was, Fox's main superhero franchise. They needed to pump them out.
New Mutants kind of got shelved because Fox was getting sold.
Yeah,
a lot of weird stuff
other
was happening.
there.
But it does feel like right now, if they're willing to like put the people in their costumes, I don't want any more Wolverine, but like
I know. Do you replace Hugh Jackman?
I don't think so. I think they'll put Hugh Jackman in some way in this X-Men movie. Maybe as like a side character, not the main thing. But like, I think if they're willing to go all out, I think this movie could be in the top tier. I think there's a lot of love for the X-Men.
I think there's
still,
a lot of love
and X-Men
for the
97
X-Men.
kind of
I
showed
think there's
that.
risk. We've also seen so much X-Men. And again, like the challenge they will face of how to incorporate them into the MCU will be a big challenge that the previous ones did not have to do.
Are they, what are we
Do
doing
they meet
here?
the Avengers? Are they aware of Thanos or whatever, right? Like there's great opportunity there, but there's also great challenges. Also, American culture is in an interesting place when it comes to some of the themes explored in X-Men.
Yeah,
Sure, but this could be a couple years down the road.
Oh, when everything's better?
Yeah, everything's gonna be
We
great.
fixed it. We fixed everything.
We fixed it.
And again, now that the place that American culture is could be an opportunity too, because they can comment on that culture.
Yeah.
And
it's tough because like I almost want this movie to be like Fantastic Four, where it's like we're in a whole new universe.
Yeah, I think.
And the rules are different, and the world's different. You know?
I mean, for me, I think the success of X-Men is going to be how much does it stand on its own, and how much does it feel like we have to watch 4 other movies to figure out what's going on.
so what do we?
We can put in the second.
I think
Love
second
it.
The
tier.
people will love it.
I think the people will love it.
And again, it's like we haven't seen it, so it's hard to know. We're going just off of general hype. I put it at the end of this tier.
At the end.
Yeah.
Oof,
Below
that's
Mario
tough.
and Predator.
Again, we
I
don't
don't
even
know
know
that.
for sure that we're getting this movie in the next 5 years.
That's fair.
They're working on it. What's
Yeah,
the-
but like
what's
until I
direction?
see a date. Okay, we're not gonna get through all the rest of these. So what of those, as much as you can make it out, we got Star Wars, we got all the rest of DC, all the rest of Marvel, Dune, Godzilla, James Bond, Minecraft, Spumsy.
I think I'm interested in Star Wars. Talking about Star Wars real
Yes,
fast. Just
we're getting
because,
one of
like,
those next year.
We're getting this Mando and Grogu movie, which I'm like, I don't know. This could be fun. It could be great, but it just kind of the trailer they showed feels like the TV show still.
Yes.
And I don't know what makes that a movie.
Dave
necessarily.
Filoni is not my favorite corner of that universe.
Right, but I am excited for this
Starfighter.
Starfighter movie.
Yes,
my
that
man
is
guys.
excited for.
Well, and
I love Gosling.
You're
Yeah.
a big Sean Levy head.
I love Sean Levy, but it's more than like I'm just like if we can tell a story that doesn't involve the Skywalker.
I think
and
that's
all
good.
of that.
Well, and we know for the first time in a long time, we're getting a theatrical release each of the next 2 years. And
Right.
probably going forward, we'll get a Star Wars movie every year.
I just the Skywalker saga felt so claustrophobic to me.
Yeah.
And so part of what I liked about Andor was like, hey, it's the same universe. It's some of the more interesting themes.
Yeah.
It's not midichlorians.
And as much as like there's maybe no more aggrieved, contentious fan base out there right now, the cultural impact You still see the costumes. People still buy the merch.
Yeah.
Lightsabers are still omnipresent in our culture, right?
I mean, we were talking about how, like, part of Mario and Zelda's strengths of their 40-year-old franchise is like, so is Star Wars.
Yes.
Like,
and even the people that came through with the last trilogy, like,
it gets
they're still young, right?
Fans,
I don't think you can put it top tier.
No, because I think they have a lot to prove.
Yes.
Going back to
especially
movie
theatrically. Yeah.
Then it's like, is it second tier or third tier?
I think it's second tier, and you can't discount the Star Wars.
Now, where does it go in there? Do you put it ahead of Superman?
I
think it goes ahead of Avatar.
Yeah, I put it ahead of Avatar.
There? I'd put it there. I'm kind of like, until I see it, we don't know. We've seen it with Superman.
I want them to make good.
That's still
Star
really
Wars
strong.
movies.
Yeah,
that's still
I would
really
love
strong.
it. I would love it.
What else? Berg, do you have one of those that's speaking to you?
I'll speak to Elden Ring just because this should be a movie I'm so excited about, and I'm not.
It's A24 is making this movie.
I know. It's A24. It's Alex Garland. The video game is incredible, but what's incredible about the video game is the sense of extreme accomplishment you feel after dying
difficult.
1,000 times.
Can this character die a bunch?
And there is perhaps an interesting story to be told in the same way like Dune is Dark Messiah. Like the central theme of Elden Ring is you're not the hero. It doesn't matter what you do. We're all fucked anyways. I could see Alex Garland doing something interesting with that, but I do not think this is going to be a good movie.
No.
Is this?
I think this is dead or
bottom
dying.
tier. Oh, okay. I love it.
I think
Before
this
it even
Let's
starts.
take some.
I think it's dead in the water.
Now, speaking of dead, let's just talk quickly, a topic we don't talk about very much, Star Trek. It was just announced this week they are not going to make any more Chris Pine Star Trek movies.
Which is a shame. Pine
And
is
now,
such a great.
it's still,
I thought he was
obviously
great.
it's a franchise that has never left TV, basically, right? There's always at least one Star Trek show going on at any given time.
I had a break for a little while.
Yeah, there's been some breaks. But
Paramount has found a lot of success
yes.
in its like.
The most recent wasn't Picard. People really liked the last season.
Well, they liked the last
right?
season.
Yeah.
People like Strange. I think they've spread out the franchise in an interesting way where they have this like animated show Below Decks that people really like. Strange New Worlds is kind of like hitting that retro for some people. Picard got their season 3. But it does feel like
it's not a theatrical franchise anymore. Doesn't feel like
right. And like when this most recent run, the J.J. Abrams kind of universe was like they're doing Star Wars now.
Yes.
And I think a lot of like the big Star Trek fans, they feel that way where it's like, I mean, Red Letter Media certainly feels this way where it's like what they like about Star Trek is not what Star Trek is anymore. It has become like generic action movie, Star Wars style sci-fi when it's supposed to be like, not hard sci-fi,
no,
but
it's
like
supposed to be like the thinking man's like,
nerdier.
what is the moral universe?
Yeah, like the movies, to their credit, they bounced all over the place, the movies, always have. And we even had this discussion today for a minute on Slack where it was like, I like Star Trek Generations, the kind of like the reboot of Star Trek movies back in the 90s, but like, Nemesis is weird, Insurrection is weird.
Yeah. It's always been weird, though it has a ton of films.
The original movies have weird stuff, but I don't know if you go back to theaters with this.
Dead or Dying?
Now that Skydance might pump a lot of money into it.
And like a new Paramount that is committed to a lot of movies in theaters, and they don't have a lot of franchises.
Yeah.
But I think like till I see it, again, next 5 years, no guarantee we see a Star Trek film in the next 5 years.
Yeah, honestly, I said take it or leave it. But yeah, if we just found out today that they're not making any movies, it has to be Dead or Dying.
The only news out of Star Trek films. Yeah.
Theatrically.
Now I'm going to just throw out my hobby horse, Dune. Now, we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Dune 3 supposedly coming out next year on the same day as Avengers Doomsday. There's almost no way that happens.
You mean
That's not gonna
Avengers
happen,
Doomsday?
Doomsday.
Now, that's
like
gonna
the
be
new
a
Barbie.
I think
you get Dr. Doom right in the
Feige's
sandworm.
going to balk and change this.
I mean, that would be my ultimate doubleheader. I would
That would be
just
a good
Dude, 6 hours,
Well,
dehydrate myself
is
for
that
3
Robert
days.
Pattinson joining Dune?
Yeah, he was just talking about how he had such a hard time filming.
He's been learning the Austin Butler.
Yeah, but
accent.
we are saying like Villeneuve seems like he just wants to do this third one and be done. But if somehow this movie makes close to $1 billion, you got to imagine Warner Brothers
It
is
has
like,
a
we need more
very
Dune
deep
movies.
bench of story to pull from. I think that
It could get weird with it.
I
It's
think
gonna
part
get
of
weird.
what makes Dune work, like if the part of what makes Dune work is Villeneuve. He's so goddamn good.
And unfortunately, that ties into another franchise where maybe we can speed run quick talk about. But like again, the last 2 Dune movies have been my favorite movies.
They're
because
so
they come
goddamn
out.
good.
I love those. I feel like that is perfect execution of that franchise. Now, not as financially successful as some of the other franchises we've talked about. Though it does like kind of make up for that with some awards recognition.
And it was like a cheaper movie.
Not as expensive as Marvel movies. Maybe cultural relevance. We're not seeing a lot of still suits on Halloween.
I piss my pants on Halloween every couple hours.
I mean, they had Dune and Fortnite, guys. People buy.
And arguably, the Dune popcorn bucket is one of the signature moments of the last 10 years.
Where's ours?
We've got one here.
Someone took it home.
It's under my desk.
I mean, the Deadpool and Wolverine bucket aped the Dune bucket.
You cannot deny the cultural relevance of this popcorn
That's
bucket.
right. I will put this, for me, and again, if you guys disagree, that's fine. I'd put this at the top of Love It.
The top of Love It.
I think that's...
And I think the things keeping it, for me, out of the top tier is like, we may only get one more of these movies in the next 5 years. And then the franchise might just go away. Okay, well, what's your argument? Where do you think it should go?
I think it's just tough because I don't know what comes next.
We'll put it at the bottom of Love It, behind X-Men.
I think it's,
you could put it
as
there.
much as I love these movies, I think they're like a thinking man sci-fi movie, and I think that lessens their broader appeal.
Have they said, are they making another season of the Dune?
Yeah, and that's
no,
the thing
they're
is,
not.
Show?
Yeah, like
it didn't work.
I think that as much as I am rooting for this franchise to keep pumping out movies that make me feel that sense of like epic, like grandeur and awe, I don't know if I see it in the next 5 years.
And part of the problem too is like so much of the success of those first two movies is Denis Villeneuve, as you mentioned. He is moving over to a different franchise. He's directing the next Bond movie. Real quick, Bond, which is the, with Marvel, is the franchise that has the most theatrical installments.
I believe so, yeah.
Has been going for nigh on 50 plus years.
Yep.
The Daniel Craig run, extremely successful, popular, cultural impact, everything. This will be a new era, but I mean, if you can't get Nolan, isn't the next name on the list Denis Villeneuve?
I mean, it is a hot name, and it does give me hope in this new Amazon future for Bond.
Do we know, has Bond been casted,
No.
or is it still just rumored?
No casting yet. We also don't. There is Amy Pascal and another producer are like on this. The Broccoli family is removed, so like there was some kind of red tape that kept a movie getting made for a while, but like that's been cleared. This is like MGM, Amazon. This is their top priority is getting this franchise
I've
going.
seen the like kind of like fan wishes of like, do you take this movie back to like the 60s, right? Is it tough to do Bond in this day and age?
I think the original character Bond is definitely like a Cold War relic. You know, that low tier
Spycraft isn't this anymore, right?
No,
it's not shoe guns and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and if it is, Slow Horses is doing it.
Right.
You know, like I think that it's fine to keep it modern and like big spectacle, sort of thing, almost in like the Mission Impossible universe. But you got to have a good Bond.
Yeah.
And until I know who the Bond is, it's tough to say.
There's rumors about Jacob Elordi. Aaron Taylor Johnson has been trying.
I mean,
thirsty thespian.
The thirstiest man.
I think Austin Butler would make a great Bond. Let's get an American Bond in there. You know what I mean?
Oh, mama. Oh, Q.
Hey, watch the bagel, man.
Where do we put this? Because like there's promise, but this is a dormant franchise right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people are very skeptical and they're tough on, but like, for every No Time to Die, there was a Spectre, right?
Spectre that made a lot of money though.
But people hated it. And like Quantum of Solace, that was a weird movie during the strikes.
And part of what's weird about Amazon is they're trying to MCU the Bond universe. They want a Moneypenny movie. They want a Q movie.
And the fan base for this skews older, obviously heavily male.
Yeah.
But like and like heavily European. These movies are way more popular in Europe than even they are in the US because of the culture and the history or whatever. Do we say like it for this franchise? I mean, the Villeneuve of it alone makes me want to bump it up.
Yeah, and like the name cachet of Bond is pretty high. If they get a hot trailer, people might go gaga for it.
I would say either like high end of like it or low end of love it, based solely on not knowing who Bond is.
I'd put it at the top of like it.
Okay. Yeah, I think like one of those two.
Because people are like, you're going to have to impress me with
There's some big question marks around it, but like, because that was big potential.
Craig came in too, that was the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's really skeptical.
They'll hate whoever gets cast as Bond. Like that happens with all these movies. They hate whoever, with Superman, Batman, all that stuff.
Yeah. We got to get out of here. Are there some comments, some folks we should shout out?
We got a couple of gift subs, 5 community gift subs from Sarah Hatchadorian. Thank you, Sarah. 5 community gift subs from Christian Unpronounceable. Thank you, Christian. A couple membership anniversaries on YouTube for Silhouetted Animator, Sarah Hatchadorian and EJ, members for 2 months during our big membership drive over the summer. Thank you. Silhouetted animator marking out. What about Ultraman and Kamen Rider, longest running Japanese franchises?
I mean, Netflix had a successful Ultraman
Wasn't there like
animated
a
film.
Ultraman or
Yeah,
Shin Ultraman or
You know,
something came out
there
recently,
were
right?
some others. If this were a 4-hour stream, we were definitely going to get into
We had to-
Godzilla, both the Toho and the American.
Yeah, yeah.
Godzilla's
Like,
hot.
I mean, Demon Slayer,
There will
K-pop Demon Hunter.
Didn't
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man just blow up?
Chainsaw Man
Like,
just a
Chainsaw
good.
Man
I mean,
did
Demon
really
Slayer
well.
did great.
Yeah.
Like blew up the box office. I mean, yeah, we didn't get to that depth, and of course, we are North American centric in a lot of our rankings. So, like, not taking into account as many foreign language things.
Yeah,
And, like,
we're
anime
really
stuff.
excited
Yeah.
for Uncle Sam the movie 2026.
What was Zeha 2? That
Yeah.
made like $2 billion.
Yeah.
That's a hot franchise.
Yeah, so there's obviously a lot of overseas stuff that we're just not as tuned into.
Yes. Honorable mention. Can you pull up the list real quick one more time, Brian? Yeah. All the rest of Marvel, all the rest of DC, stuff like Clayface, Call of Duty movie just got announced. That's interesting. Godzilla, as we mentioned. Minecraft, the #1 movie or #2 movie of this year.
It'll be interesting what a sequel to that movie
Yes.
is.
What is right after that, Brian?
That's the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, Ninja Turtles, we're getting another animated movie next year, I believe.
I love the first one.
Yes.
The Spumpsy that is seemingly dead.
Dead, dying.
Unless they do a sequel to Madam Web.
It is,
Yeah.
it is literally dead.
Bubsy is going to bring back Leto.
And then is that Transformers is the last one?
Yeah. That's Transformers 1, the animated. There was like the Transformers live action, the Rise of the Beast, which teased tie-in with G.I. Joe.
Yes.
And that seems to
that's
have gone
right.
away.
Yeah.
People really like Transformers 1. It kind of was very similar to the more recent, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie. You had this like Transformers animated movie. They both were great in their own ways. And I think the future for those franchises is maybe sticking animated.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if we need live action Transformers. It doesn't work as well.
We need
I don't know, because like it's always more human focused
we-
than Transformer focused.
We got to get out of here. I want to thank you so much. Berg, thank you so much.
Yes, of
thank you to
course.
everybody who watched. And thank you to Brandon Barrick.
Happy to be back.
Hey!
I heard a
little.
little rumor you might be back Friday.
Oh, I might show up again Friday.
Okay. We'll keep you out of the bathroom until then.
Yeah, you're not
I'm
allowed
good
to
for
use it
now.
now.
I'm good for now.
You're a hog, bathroom hog.
Thank you so much, everybody that watched, was in the chat, is watching now on VOD. Leave a comment. What franchise did we miss? What did we
Yeah.
grossly underestimate?
We did
what
not talk about Mission Impossible.
Oh, another maybe dead or dying.
Never.
There's all kinds of stuff. You could throw out Born. Other
again?
Disney live action is inarguably the top live action franchise. If you
Is
consider
it?
that, I mean,
Like the Maleficent?
Moana,
Like the remake?
Oh,
Moana
yeah.
made the most movie this
What about
year.
Lilo
The
and
Beauty and the
Stitch,
Beast
or-
movie made the most. I mean, Mufasa was a huge hit. But how did we screw up? Leave us that comment.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
know you will.
Make sure to
Be
double
personal
check.
about our appearance
Yeah,
and
yeah,
opinions.
yeah.
Yeah, really criticize me. Take the gloves off, but only give love to these two guys. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll be back Friday talking about Predator Badlands.
Latest gators. Bye.
Adios.